Hey, my special ass, beautiful ass, magical ass goddesses. It's your girl Kayla back with another video. And today I just kind of thought I would touch on the topic of spiritual warfare and how to spot an enemy, right? I want Divine Feminists to understand how very crucial this aspect of your spiritual journey is, right? Especially as you start rising in vibration. You may be the type of Divine Feminine that I was growing up. Yes, I had women friends, but I didn't have very many per se. I generally always had more male friends. And so if this kind of describes you along your life journey, and especially during your spiritual journey, then this video is definitely for you. But before I jump in, make sure you subscribe to my channel and click the bell notification. That way, every time I drop a video, you'll be the first to know. Also, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. All right, we're gonna jump right in, right? So like I was saying earlier, as your vibration rises, very low vibrational women, AKA also known as karmics, they will be very petty and very spiteful towards you, right? And so as a consequence, you're probably going to start to notice that your interactions with them become like very tit for tat, or them throwing subtle shade and things of that nature. Or sometimes for some women, they don't necessarily make it as obvious what they're doing, right? They will come to you as the friend in disguise. And when I say this, it doesn't even necessarily pertain to women. Men can be bitches too, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway. So yeah, a lot of times they will really pretend like they are your friend. It's kind of like that whole theory of keep your friends close and your enemies even closer kind of going on at play. But yeah, they may be pretending like you guys are, like peanut butter and jelly, and all the while they are stabbing you behind your back every single chance that they get. So first way to recognize this. Number one, they're really, really fucking inquisitive, right? Like, I don't mean a small, minute amount of quisitivity. I don't even know if that's a word, quisitivity, but I like it. I'm gonna go with it. Not a small amount of quisitivity, but, quite a bit of quisitivity. Like, they want to know what happened in your last relationship, what he looked like, where he lived at, what kind of car he drive, where he work at, like what his parents like, if you met his parents, like how many kids, like just overly kind of intrusive information. Now, it's one thing if you're offering this information to a friend, but it's another thing if they're just completely all up and through your business, okay? Totally different. Or if they feel the need to pry on things that necessarily they know that you don't care to talk about, that can be rather traumatic and hurtful to you. They will pry. Like they will just act like they have to know everything about you. Be cautious of those people, because oftentimes what they're trying to do is they're trying to bring something up to tell an enemy against you or to use against you themselves later. So be very, very cautious about type of people that will just want to know everything about your life. Like, leave it up to them. They'll start telling your life story better than you can, okay? Be very mindful and cautious of these people. Especially when they try to disguise it as concern. Like, and it's not even a concern where they're offering you helpful advice. It's more a concern of like just listening, and then you really don't get anything back. They're not contributing anything to the conversation, to your situation. They just may, put it in the form of consoling you and, acting like they're there for you. Those are the type of people like to avoid, because as a divine feminine, the type of people that you want in your life are the type of people that's gonna keep it real with you. Like, let's just be honest. Like, they gonna keep it 1,000 with you, even when you don't want them to. Like, divine feminists need those type of friends where, if you're dating a not so savory character, and I see you crying and whining over him, and I know he ain't shit in the first place, like, I'm like, bitch, snap out of it. Like, those are the type of friends that you need, not the type of ones that always just kind of want you to cry on their shoulder about some slightly traumatic shit that happened in your past, or something of that nature. So yes, that is number one. They're nosy as fuck, aka also known as wanting a trauma bond. So be cautious of that. Number two, this is also a really big one that I don't think a lot of people realize when it happens, because sometimes it is a little sketchy to spot. But that is someone who is trying to influence your decision making and your choices, right? Let's say you're going through a little bit of a situation where I don't know, let's say you got to downgrade cars, right? Let's say that during the pandemic, you know, you lost your good paying job and you got another job, but it doesn't pay as much. And, you know, you had this luxury car before that may be a little bit harder to afford now. And so you're kind of like thinking about downsizing it. You know, they will completely find every reason to talk you out of a very rational decision. The decision is rational because if you can't afford it, then yes, it would be in your best interest to do something that works better for your budget. But they will convince you of everything that is toxic and could possibly destroy your life. Well, no, you know, you want to be seen as this and you want to be seen as that, and you know, it's a good look for you, and you know, they will try to influence all of your decisions and choices to benefit them. How would it benefit them? Let's just say one of the ways that it could benefit them is, let's say eventually because you can't keep up with those payments, then your car ends up getting repossessed. Well, it benefit them because now you will need them. That's number one. And number two, they will feel like they now are above you, like they have a step above you, like they are better than you, something, you know, to that effect. So you have, but yeah, you have to be very cautious about people who are like that, who will try to influence you more so to toxic behavior that doesn't serve your best interest, because they're trying to bring your vibration down to their level. Number 3, I had to learn this lesson a few times, but when I tell you, baby, it is one of the things that I pay attention to the most now. Because I did go through this recently, which is why I felt the need to kind of make a video about it. But when people try to act like they like you and they really don't, be very mindful of how they interact with people that you don't. I'm going to say that again. When you are dealing with people that like you, be very mindful of how they interact with people that you don't. Now, I don't want you to take this as though, you know, I'm on some high school level of like, she talked to the person that I don't talk to. I didn't say that. I said be mindful of how they interact, or lack thereof, or picking up of, right? Let's say that somebody that acts like that they like you and that, you know, they're team you and all for you, you know, you tell this person, oh, you know, I don't mess with so-and-so. And then all of a sudden they start associating with so-and-so out of nowhere. Behavior to be mindful of. That is somebody that really does not like you. Let's say it's more of a situation where there's somebody that that doesn't like you, and this person has always interacted with them, but their interactions and, you know, knowing that they don't like you have changed, where, you know, it seems very cliquish, where, you know, it seems like 2 against 1, or, you know, that type of energy that some people like to bring to make it feel like a competition of, you know, us versus them type of behavior. That is also something that you need to be mindful of, and a sign that somebody who acts like they like you really don't. Then number 4, for number 4, we have hot and cold. When it comes to this behavior, you know, it often goes hand in hand with the trying to pry in your business. Like when there's nothing going on in your life, when there's nothing to talk about, when there's nothing to trauma bond about, oftentimes these people kind of disappear and fall into the background, right? So number 4 is like that very hot and cold type of behavior, where one minute, you know, they act like they can't get enough of you. They constantly want to be around you and talk to you and interact with you and, you know, do all these fun things. And the next minute, you know, they're always busy. They always have something to do. All of a sudden, magically, they no longer have time. But then somewhere down the line, like they magically get it again. Like, you know, that very hot and cold behavior, that is a very clear sign that somebody is acting like they like you and they really, really, they don't fuck with you at all. Like, not even a little bit. And then the biggest one, the biggest one, when somebody's acting like they like you and they really don't, they will take more than they give. And when I say this, I need you to understand that it is in a much deeper sense than you may initially understand, right? When somebody really does not like you, they will give more than they take in every way, shape, and form. This could be financially, this could be energetically, this could be emotionally, like, it exists in multiple different ways. So, that person that may try to manipulate you, they just may be an energy vampire, and they suck you dry while you're sitting there spilling out your whole life story, and they're basically just kind of using that as a way to drain you of your energy. And it could not be an equal exchange. You could be giving away more energy than you're actually receiving in return. So you have to be very, very mindful of these types of relationships. So, that type of friend, everybody didn't have that type of friend where, they constantly don't have this and don't have that. So they need you to put $5 on this, or, in the grocery store, like, I think it was Ezel, buy me this bag of chips. Like, everybody got that friend. I mean, everybody. These are the type of unequal exchanges that I'm talking about, where you're constantly giving, and when you need, they are nowhere to be found, like all the way down the block, around the corner, like ×2. So be very, very mindful of those type of people, because they know exactly what they're doing. They try to act as though, well, as soon as I get on, I got you, and all this other kind of bluffing bullshit, where it's like a false hope of eventually one day they'll get you back, or you guys will be on the same page, or all this other type of nonsense. So just be very, 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 very mindful of that. So that's all I have for you today, my femmes. If you'd like to email me about coaching services, you can reach me at divinefemrising11@gmail.com. Until next time, my loves. Bye.